We begin this hour in KwaZulu-Natal, where the death toll due to the floods there has now risen to 443, and an estimated 63 people are still missing. Premier Sihle Zikalala says the floods have caused greater levels of devastation and that much more assistance will be needed to assist those who are affected. 551 schools have been affected by the floods, and around 98 others will now need mobile classrooms when reopening. Zikalala says the needs identified are enormous, and billions will be required to repair and rebuild that province. He, of course, was giving an update on the floods just yesterday.
In terms of the search and rescue mission, the current inclement weather has slowed our assessment and rescue operations on the ground. We stand at approximately 63 persons missing or unaccounted for. The death toll now stands at 443. The provincial government resolved to ask the national government to consider a review and perhaps investigate whether this disaster should not be declared as a national disaster. We say this with humility and understanding that our president and ministers have been the first on the ground with us, and in surveying the damage they have witnessed, the level of required response. We remain grateful for the speed with which the disaster was declared, and we can assure the nation that we are doing our part to ensure that we cushion the people from the worst conditions they've been subjected to.
Let's stay with that update. Zikalala describing the floods as one of the worst catastrophes to befall the province.
Since the flood disaster, which by far rank as being among the worst catastrophes to befall the province of KwaZulu-Natal in a long time. The loss of life, destruction of homes, the damage to the physical infrastructure, the demolition of public buildings, and the consequent damage to services combined to make this natural disaster one of the worst ever in recorded history of our province. We suspect the human toll and damage surpasses the 1987 floods, which engulfed this part of the world.
Let's get you a live update on the situation on the ground now. There you can see our Pelane Phakgadi, who's live to us from Durban this morning. And Pelane, of course, not only watching what's happening, but also covering it is taking its toll on everybody who's involved there. But get us up to speed with how those recovery missions have been ongoing, at least since yesterday.
Well, the uncovering missions really seemingly have been going well. That is what we are told, because you would also appreciate the fact that when one person is missing, for argument's sake, in the Yakske River bank, which goes from the Alexandra Road all the way to the Hartebees Mountains, it will take some days. And today here, the rescue mission is expected on a daily basis to yield at least some results while there is still time. And the K9 unit has been brought in, and the specialities as well are being brought in from the private sector. The NGOs also playing their role. We've seen Gift of the Grievers. We've seen Rescue SA and South African Search and Rescue ZA. They are also all here to try and assist the SAPS, the SANDF, and as well as the metros from other departments and provinces. We've seen Limpopo Provincial Health Department arriving yesterday. We have also seen the Western Cape and as well as the Northwest, the Free State. So quite a number of officials, not only just from government but from civic organizations, have also arrived here. And it does take a toll on them. We've seen how tired some of them are already looking because they are digging with their hands and they are using spades to try and get under the rubble. And they've even called in fighters to come and assist as far as the drilling some of the rocks is concerned, because some houses you may find that rubble upon rubble has befell on it, and that particular rubbles and as well as breaks, they're coming from other houses when they were being swept away by the surging mud and waters. So there is an understanding of where some of the people are, but they are unable to dig them out with the current state of affairs using their own hands and the spades. So the call is to have more specialties on the ground and as well as to have more machinery so that they can be able to bring out, especially the children that we have seen in the area of Inanda, where they're still remaining trapped under rubble. They do believe that the K9 has found them, but they are unable to get to them at this stage.
Really devastating state of affairs. For now, thanks very much indeed. Pelane Phakgadi, live to us there from Durban.